Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, Qam YASHARAHLA, in whom the truth resides. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, that's out here preaching this truth in the four corners of the earth, for the risking your lives for the love of the gospel, and you, Aqua, that's listening and learning in silence and being blessed, whatever Yahweh Shai may find your hands to do. This is Qam YASHARAHLA. I was reading in the book of Acts, and I just ran across this word, persuasion. I want to go into it real quick. Salakia. Yeah, it's a powerful word, man. I looked it up. Hold on. Persuade. Oh, wow, this one is tripping. Okay, hold on. I'll just put it in. I'll just punch it in. Okay, let me see if it give me the same definition. Etymology of the word persuade. Okay. Slacky. Okay. Persuade, Latin, 15th century. Here we go. Okay, 1510 from Middle French, persuade, from Latin persuade, to bring over by talking. Okay, and that's basically what we do when we out in the highways and byways. All right, we persuade. The scripture says, let every man be persuaded in his own mind. All right, let me get a few accounts in this in Acts while I was reading, and all right, we'll get into it. Okay, the first verse I want to Acts 13 and 43. All right, it said, now the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious Protestants following Paul and Barnabas, who speaking to them persuaded them to continue in the grace of the power. The next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of the power. All right, and that's and they were basically in the chief place of concourse, preaching and speaking in the words of the Lord, man. All right, because it said what it was. He said speaking to them, persuading them to continue in the grace of the power. All right. He said, verse 45, but when the Jews saw the multitude, they were filled with envy and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blasphemy. Right, man. That's sloppy. Shit. Don't answer that. Okay. All right. And that's basically what these other alphabet camps do, man. They see the word of the Lord going out, man, via GMS and our elders and apostles and the other Akim that's out here preaching this truth, and they see the word going out, going forth, man, and people are waking up. Okay, so what do? They speak evil of us, man, contradicting, trying to contradict what we say. All right, they make parody videos and trying to come against this truth, man. All right, let's go ahead. They said, then Barnabas, then I like it. Verse 46. Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said it was necessary that the word of the power should first have been spoken to you, but seeing ye put it from you, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. All right, for so hath the Lord commanded us, saying, I have set thee to be a light unto the Gentiles, that thou shouldest be for salvation unto the ends of the earth. All right, and that's what we going to, man. We going to people, we out in the highways and byways, man, speaking not only to the Gentiles, the people that don't know they're Israelites, but we actually speaking to the elect, because the Lord is the one that puts the spirit on a person to get this truth or not. All right, it's not up to us, man. He just gave us a decree what to do, and that's what we do. All right, we go out and speak the word, man, and the Lord brings the increase. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. I was reading that the other day. So I can. Mm-mm-mm. All right, it's like it. All right, this is Matthew. Was it? Oh shit, I can't find it. But anyway, I just quoted. Okay, but he says, one watereth, and the Lord is the one that brings the increase. All right, so it's not up to us, man, who gets this truth or not, man. But we just set forth the word, man, and put it out on the highways and byways, man, and like I said, it lands where Yahweh Shah wants it to go. It goes out forth where Yahweh Shah wants it to go. All right. Acts, get another one. Acts 18:4. All right, this Acts 18:4. And he reasoned in the synagogues every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. And then when Silas and Timothy were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit and testified to the Jews and that Yahushua was Mashiach. All right, and let's look up that word pressed. Okay, where's that? Acts. '18 and 4. Okay, where is it? Pressed. Okay, 18 and 5. Okay, it says 1 to hold together um, any whole, lest it fall to pieces or something falling away from. 2 to hold together with constraint, to compress. All right, to press together with hand, to hold one's ears, to press on every side. It's not what I want. Besiege city. Okay, of a straight until now. Okay. Okay, here we go. 3 to hold completely, to hold fast. Okay, of a prisoner. Right. Hey, because the scripture says what? We are all prisoners for Christ's sake. Metaphorically, to be held by closely, occupied with any business, right? Okay, because the scripture says what, man? Occupy till I come. All right, and teaching the word. Oh, wow, beautiful. To constraint, to oppress of ills, lying hold of, right, man. It says lie hold to this truth, man. So yeah, so we go back. It says, okay, it said he reasoned in the synagogues every Sabbath. Matter of fact, it wasn't that far. Let me go and start at the top of here. It says, after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born of Pontus, lately come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them. And because he was of the same craft, he abode with them, and wrought by their occupation. They were tent makers. And he reasoned in the synagogues every Sabbath, and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. And when Silas and Timothy were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit, and testified to the Jews that Yahushua was Mashiach. And when they oppressed themselves and blasphemed, he shook his raiment and said unto them, your blood be upon your own heads. I am clean from henceforth. I will go unto the Gentiles. Right. Because that basically that's the scriptures, man, because that's what we do. You know, we'll go out and teach on a corner or a certain spot, man, for so long. And after a while, man, the Lord will put the spirit on a brother or a certain camp, and he's done it with us, you know, and told us to shake the dust from that place. That means it's dead. It's dead fruit, man. It's not yielded. All right, we just leave that place alone, man. We go somewhere else. Hey, that, you know what else to do is that also seals a certain place, you know. So the certain y'all have you to leave, man. That place is done. You know, he did that to us when we preached in East Chicago. You know, that place is dead fruit, man. Yahushua gonna judge that place. All right, let me get this last one, because hey, this is persuasion in its finest, man. This is my favorite scripture. That was when I read this. This is what actually brought forth this sit down. All right, this is this tight, man, because Paul was. Hey, matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna read this. It's kind of lengthy, but it's tight. Well, I'm gonna just read it a little bit, then I'm gonna jump back down to the point. This is Acts 26 and 1. This is when Paul was locked. He was in bonds right now, and he went to King Agrippa. All right, this is Acts 26 and 1. He said, then Agrippa said unto Paul, thou art permitted to speak for thyself. Then Paul stretched forth his hand and answered for himself, I think myself happy, King Agrippa, because I shall answer for myself this day before thee touching all things wherefore I am accused of. The Jews especially, because I know thee to be expert in in all customs and questions which are among the Jews. Wherefore I beseech thee to hear me patiently. Bro, he was supplanting, bro. And that's why I always say, man, hey, y'all, Apostle Tahar always say this, man. Brothers should be out here, man, supplanting this world, man. Bro, we're the seed of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. We're the seed of Jacob. All right, man. We should be, hey, when you go in for a job, man, or you got a job interview, man, bro, hey, brush your hair back, man. You know, look good, smell good. Go in there and supplant, man. Hey, look here. Yeah, no, I got expertise in this and that, blah blah. Because basically, you're not lying. You know, you are. You gotta have a role. You gotta have a ruling class mentality. So when you set forth and go through to do anything, man, you know, you gotta have that confidence, man. You know, and being a man of the Lord gives us a certain amount of confidence, man. You know, the world already looks down on us, man, but we gotta, us being men of the Lord, can't look at things in the carnal. We have to look at it spiritually. Everything has to be spiritual for us, you know, and that's the things that sets us apart from the world. All right, verse 4. He said, he said, I beseech thee to hear me patiently. All right, verse 4. My manner of life from my youth, which was at the first among my own nation at Jerusalem, know all the Jews which knew me from the beginning, if they would testify that after the most straight sect of our religion, I lived a Pharisee, and now I stand and am judged for the hope of the promise made of the power unto our fathers, unto which promise our 12 tribes instantly serving the power day and night hope to come, for which hope's sake, King Agrippa, I am accused of the Jews. Okay, this is just him making the accusations, man. I'm gonna jump on down to the point, but I'm just saying I read that beginning because Paul was supplanting, boy. He put it on him, man. Like, watch what he say towards this end. Okay, I'm gonna jump down to 23, and the point is at 25. Point is at 28. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going down some more. Oh yeah, no, this tight. Okay, and let's jump to 24. He said, and as and as he thus spake for himself, Festus said with a loud voice, Paul, thou art beside thyself. Much learning doeth make thee mad. He told Paul he was crazy. All right, verse 25. He said, but he said, I am not mad, most noble Festus. Well, he's a planting, bro. He said, most noble Festus, because he said, but speak forth the words of truth and soberness. For the king knoweth of these things, before whom also I speak freely. For I am persuaded that none of these things are hidden from him. For this thing is not done in a corner. King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? And he said, I know that thou believest. Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. And Paul said, I would to power that not only thou, but also all that hear me this day. Both we were both almost and altogether such as I am, except these bonds. All right, yeah. So, yeah, man. So Paul, bro, hey, man, he was, hey, that's our brother, man. Hey, bro, he was head supplanter, man. Paul came at him, hey, like, hey, look here, man. You know, I'm you know, he was getting his point across, man. Okay. Um, he was super persuading him, man. Okay, let me go ahead and read the all of it. Okay, and when he said, verse 30, and he said, and when he had thus spoke, the king rose up, and the governor, and Bernice, and they that sat with them. And when they were gone aside, they talked between themselves, saying, this man doeth nothing worthy of death or of bonds. Then said Agrippa unto Festus, this man might have been set at liberty if he had not appealed to Caesar. Right, because basically what he's saying is if he would have just came to us, you know what I'm saying, and he didn't appeal to Caesar, wanted to go see Caesar, they would have let him go, man. Because he came to him so raw, man. He super supplanted him, man. Okay, and that's how we supposed to be, man. We supposed to doing this truth, man. We supposed to speak these words, man, and just, you know, because like I said, well, really, if it's not for a person, man, if it's not for if it's just somebody out to regular time, some regular Jake out there, you know, he's not gonna get it. But to the ones that it's meant for, we go to them with smooth word, with them supplanting words, man. Okay, not really supplanting, but persuasion. It's like it. I don't want to say supplanting. All right. I think I got one more. Let me get this one. I think it's in Timothy's. It's like it. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is Romans 14:5. He said, um, all right, 14:5. He said, one man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. He that regardeth the day regardeth it unto the Lord, and he that regardeth not the day to the Lord, he doeth not regard it. He that eateth, eateth to the Lord, for he giveth the power thanks. And he that eateth not to the Lord, he eateth not, and giveth the power thanks. For none of us live to himself, and no man dieth to himself. For rather we live unto the Lord, and rather we die unto the Lord. Rather we live, therefore we die. We are the Lord's. All right, man. So it doesn't, and so and the stance that we take in this truth, man. Uh, my, I know brothers and heard this saying before. Man, you either live for something. You're gonna stand up for something. You're gonna die for nothing, man. Something like that. I don't know. I forgot how it actually goes. But really, man, just since you're going already, we know the persecution is coming to America, man. We know the judgment that's upon us already. These curses. All right. So it's only one thing to do, man. It's the man stand up and be a man for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and profess this truth. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, bro, hell is coming to you regardless, whether you get it or not. You know, you still gonna suffer the same hell. Might really gonna suffer worse hell. All right, we're gonna suffer because we standing up for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We're gonna suffer for His name's sake. All right. The difference is that the Yahweh Shai is has a reward for us, man, in the end. All right. But yeah, man. So yeah, man. That's a bad word, man. That's a tight word. I'm this the name this persuasion is a powerful word. Is a powerful tool. All right, and that's something we should be using. All right, while we here in the Babylon doing our last little hoorah, man. All right. You're supposed to persuade the world, use persuasion, man, in your everyday life, man. All right, because we already got the truth. All right, so all right, with that, we give all praise to Yahweh, Pashim Yahweh Shai, the honors to the elder apostles, Jim Master, whom the truth resides. Peace and blessings be multiplied to your Akim that's out there preaching this truth for the love of the gospel, and peace and blessings also to your Aqua that's learning the silent and being blessed whatever Yahweh Shai may find your hands to do. All right, Shalom.